You know, if the Jigsaw Killer started off every one of these movies by saying, "I want to play a game," we'd be having a much more different conversation. Let's get started. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Thumb Together. My name is Andrew Fantasia, and today we're going to be talking about Jumanji, the next level together. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. And if you're a fan of video games and fun and adventure, like Jumanji, then check out my book, Side Scroller, which I wrote. That's my name right there. Side Scroller is an adventure romance set in a world that runs on the logic of video games. Not to toot my own horn, but I think it's better than Jumanji. And you can pick it up on Amazon.com or .ca or .uk, wherever you are. Your version of Amazon has it in paperback or in ebook, whichever you prefer. You have friends and family who like video games and books and adventures or whatnot, get a copy for them too. I'm not J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm not Brandon Sanderson. I'm not making their money. They're going to be fine. Don't buy their books. Buy mine. You'd be helping me out, and you'd be supporting new up-and-coming talent. Everybody wins. Anyway, let's talk about Jumanji, the next level. Whoever came up with the decision to have these avatars, these in-game avatars, and then have people from the real world inhabit their bodies, I want to go up and give that person a great big hug, because that is one of the most brilliant, enduring ideas in film that I've seen in a long time. From a writing point of view, from an acting point of view, it is just a recipe for pure, unadulterated fun, and it's almost limitless potential as well. Because here's the thing. These four characters can be inhabited by anybody. As we saw in this movie, it's not just four random teens now. Now you've got Danny Glover and Danny DeVito stepping into these roles. And The Rock and Kevin Johnson do a great job being DeVito and Glover, respectively, and bringing those characters to life through themselves. Kevin Hart's impersonation of Danny Glover is so spot on. He gets the voice right, he gets the pacing right, he plays that old man who's just doddering and just takes his time telling stories. Like, that was so well done, and it really just gets my mind running. It gets my mind thinking, like, other combinations. Who else could step into these roles? You could cast so many different people in future Jumanji sequels to then be played by these four actors and see them come up with these little different iterations of all these different people. Oh my goodness, it is limitless. It is absolutely limitless. Another way that it's limitless, even more so, is that these four characters are not the only characters who could be possible avatars in Jumanji. As we've seen, we've got the Jonas character, but we've also got this horse, which is, I'm going to admit, kind of a letdown. Whoever ended up being the horse kind of got shortchanged. But then you've got the new addition of Awkwafina. And normally Awkwafina, I could take her or leave her. I've never really seen her in anything where I'm like, ooh, she's really cool. In this one, I became an Awkwafina fan. She rocked in this movie. Just her look, she looked really cool. She looked kind of like a Star Wars character. She had a great design, her costume and everything. And then to top it off, she plays both Spencer and later DeVito, and she does it so well. Both impersonations they're distinctly two different people. So Awkwafina has showed off her acting chops in this movie more than anything else I've seen her in. And that just, fuels my imagination, because I think, okay, you got these four, you got the horse, you got Awkwafina, who else? What other avatars could we meet in the future? I am just sweating with expectation about what they could do with this franchise. So in terms of potential for fun, Jumanji is the gold standard. It is incredible what they have done with this concept. Now, having said that, these two movies, Welcome to the Jungle and now this follow-up, kind of bland as far as I'm concerned. And what makes me sad is I can't put my finger on what it is that's making them bland. I just feel like the game world of Jumanji itself and the real world that the characters inhabit are all decent, but just sort of forgettable at the same time. There's nothing really outstanding about them. And that's a very big crime when it comes to Jumanji, because Jumanji is this fantasy world where anything can happen, and, you'd expect this vivid, vibrant array of different characters and worlds and stuff, and you see more of the world in this. You see the desert and the northern, colder, snowy parts, whereas it's, the last one was just jungle, but it still feels very shallow. As somebody who enjoys video games, I remember when I walked out of Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I was thinking, okay, so they made it a video game, but it's a very shallow video game. It's one of those video games that probably would only take you like 2 hours to finish, and even less time to forget. It was a very shallow, watered-down video game. If you ever want to know what those feel like, just go buy a video game made by EA, and you'll know what I mean. this sequel felt like it was going to start attempting some cool world building stuff within the Jumanji world, but then it didn't. There was this whole thing about a person named Switchblade, where we find out that Smolder Bravestone has a weakness to Switchblade, and everybody's like, what, you just cut him with a Switchblade? But no, it turns out Switchblade is a person who is now married to the ex-flame of Smolder Bravestone, and we're like, ooh, okay, it's the Switchblade guy, this is big business, this is a big deal, what's gonna happen? And nothing happened. Switchblade just shot him with a rocket, and that was it. He was nobody. He was nothing. He was a throwaway joke. Same thing with, there's these two brothers you keep hearing about, and the brothers are supposed to be making a deal with the villains, and you never see the brothers. The characters pose as the brothers, and again, you think, oh, these brothers sound really cool, and turns out they have a sister, and there's this whole allegiance thing that they're making with the villains, and again, you're following that through line of world building. You're like, what are these brothers like? What's going on in this pocket of Jumanji? And then it fizzles out, because you never see those brothers, or the sister, or find out anything really interesting about them other than that one is a eunuch. That's funny, I guess. There's a eunuch character. My biggest gripe with Welcome to the Jungle was that I found Bobby Cannavale's character to be an incredibly bland stock villain, and in the case of the next level, they didn't do much better with Rory McCann. Sure, he's Rory McCann, so I like him even more than I like Bobby Cannavale, but he was just another bland, forgettable stock villain who didn't really do or say much. He's just like, I'm a big Viking guy, and that's it. So everything feels like it just keeps falling short of greatness. The concept is not. The concept is 100,000% greatness. It is everything that you could dream of as a writer and an actor. The fun you could have with this concept is never ending, and I love it to pieces. But everything else is just shallow as a tea tray. And unfortunately, I don't know how long they can keep this up without good stories and worlds to back up this great concept of hopping into these avatars. Finding that sweet spot is going to elevate the Jumanji franchise from good to fantastic, from okay to being able to stand next to titans like Marvel and Star Wars and being that good of a franchise. It can be done. As a writer, I would love to take a crack at the Jumanji franchise because I think there's so much you could do here with everything, with every facet of it. The action set pieces are kind of blurry and unfun. Like, I didn't really enjoy the bridges. I didn't really enjoy the ostriches. They were just kind of throwaway action set pieces. I much preferred the character drama that goes on with everybody, and even that just fell shy of expectations for me. There's gotta be a sweet spot to balance this all out. I think we can find it. I'm sure they'll do a Jumanji 4. I mean, Welcome to the Jungle made so much money that it's almost a given at this point that they'll at least make this some kind of trilogy, if not carry it on farther. But I hope they reach a point where maybe the next one is like their version of Thor Ragnarok, where they really find their stride and everything is running on full cylinders. Because this is a beautiful machine, but only certain parts of it are working, and other parts seem like they're just dull and tarnished and don't really fit in with the shinier, newer stuff. So find that balance, even everything out, and you could have one of the best franchises in Hollywood. And that ain't hyperbole, kids. I want to see this go places, but it still needs work. So that is Jumanji, the next level. Liked it, didn't love it. Felt the same about Welcome to the Jungle. Felt the same about the original Jumanji, to be honest. That never really was a wow experience in my childhood. It was just kind of in one ear and out the other. What you need better character drama, and you need more world building, both inside the game and outside. Once you hit that stride, you're gonna be okay. That's Jumanji, the next level. I'm Andrew Fantasia. This has been Thumb Together. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all here next time, and until then, adios.